Hey, it's Launching Dwayne Bay. It's August the 25th, 2022, and I am on my way to earn money at Burger King. I don't know if you can see me because of the little smudge. I'm rushing. So, yesterday, as I was walking, I saw this Mason truck. Now, a lot of times, Imani Great Bay and I run Arrington-Bey as Moorish Americans. We don't know any one person here in Annapolis. And the last thing we will ever call ourselves is a form of Mason. Knowing truth about DNA manipulation and other forms of experiments that go on. I don't know who's a Mason and who's not a Mason, or call themselves Masons. They're not true Masons, but call themselves a Mason in Annapolis. I have no idea, but I have connected the spirits of truth, those dots. That's a huge difference in reference to classification and identification of what is human. So I kept saying, hearing people saying sane. We know they're not the same because they can't do what Moorish Americans can do, what Moors can do. So we know they're not the same. That's lawfully, cosmically, because they're not identified. Too many of them are not even identified as human. And so what I think has happened is a program has been programmed for them to think that's not the reason, but that's the reason. They're not classified or identified as being human. Cosmically, constitutional, through natural law. They are literally classified and identified as being some form of a beast, animal, outside of natural law. And I really think this is the connection with the steps of naturalization and why it's emphasized in our Moorish American nation to be naturalized. Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali knew before this happened that this was going to be an issue of truth. And so he probably knew that there were beasts and animals when he was physically alive, and they weren't classified as humans but looked human. So our prophet, one of our prophets, Noble Drew Ali, says we as Moors must be naturalized. To be separated. And so I've heard many times through thoughts, leave the animals with the animals. Leave the animals with the animals, because they literally get downloads of programs. So here I am in Annapolis, and I was just speaking to Imani how the word man is emphasized. I have never gone anywhere ever thought about the word man being emphasized like it has been in Annapolis. And this is excluding Burger King. I gave testimony about hearing the word man at Burger King and how some employees will use it. But I'm excluding Burger King because I don't know their reason for doing that. And I'm not saying anybody at Burger King is not a human being. But what I'm saying is, or not human, and so forth. But what I'm saying is, I've been out other places where the word man has been emphasized, And I've never been anywhere where the word man was emphasized. It's like either you're a man or a woman, or you could be transsexual or so forth, but nonetheless, you are identified as human, of some form of a human being. So this is the connection, once again, going back to Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teaching of being naturalized, because he knew we were going to be among those that are not human, literally, male and female, and that are literally classified and identified as animals and beasts or something else. And this is the huge difference with our Moorish American nation and family. So we know that there's no way they're the same. Through this coronavirus pandemic that has been definitely demonstrated. Islam, that's all I have to say. It is August the 25th, 2022.